Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TxT Anime Hour. I am your host, Tristan.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is part 2 of the Anime Awards 2023 voting game. In part 1, we placed our votes. We did a subjective vote, or a objective vote, and a vote for our favorite. And we're kicking off with part 2 because there were 22 categories and 6 nominees per category. And there's only so much time in the evening to gush over all our favorites and learn about new people and characters and shows.
Exactly. We were motoring along too, and I thought we would make it, but just no dice. Requires a part 2, and here we are.
Yeah, buddy.
So maybe take us through each category we went through last time and quickly rattle off each of our votes since you got them, and then I might jump in and change some of them for a few reasons that I'll explain as we go.
I pray to God I remember to write it out in my notes. Okay, so it started off with best character design. Your objective vote was Ranking of Kings, which we have both agreed after last night we need to watch it.
Oh, do we ever? And I hate to jump in already, but since you gave me that beautiful segue, we're skipping what you're watching today because we just did it in part 1, and we're recording these really close in proximity, obviously. But yeah, guess what I did today?
Wait, you had time to start it?
Yeah, I made time. I ripped home from work. I sat down with some food, and I watched the first episode of Ranking Kings. It came up too many times in part 1, and I had to check it out, and it changes everything. It is so good. Like, the art style is unreal. The story is intriguing, and that little kid, Boji, is... Gosh, I can already tell that this show is going places. I only watched the 1, but I'm all in. So that's what I'm watching.
You're basing that off the pilot.
Yes, the pilot, dude. The pilot made me feel so much. Yes, so much. It really hit me, and so. Yeah. I've already jumped in. You said, best character design, and I forget what some of the other nominees are. You're going to list a few of them in a second, but I will stand by that answer. Like, character design's really top notch in that show. So
wow, okay, that sounds like it's going to come into competition with your favorite vote, which was Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I'll stand by that. I'll stand by that as a favorite because, like, absolutely.
Yeah. And I had the same votes as you, so that one's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Then we went into Best Animation, where we both voted for Demon Slayer because we couldn't really think of an objective vote.
Yep, and I stand by that as well. That's beautiful.
I do too. Then we went into Best New Series. My objective vote went to Call of the Night very boldly, and I'm standing by it. And my favorite went to Spy X Family, and you only put your votes down for Spy X Family for Best New Series.
Yeah, I think that it's got... Like, it made a splash on the scene. I think that it'll probably be the objective winner 100%. There. And then I love it. And what I ended up doing also today, when I probably shouldn't have been doing this, was go through and watch a bunch of openings and endings and things like that, because they were the subjects that I knew the least about, like I can remember. Yeah. And so the way this ties into Spy X Family is... Man, the opening and the ending are so good, and just reminded me how good that show is. So that show really made a splash.
Yeah, it did. Like I said in part 1, it had a whole heap of pop-ups around Japan, from stores to restaurants.
That's so neat.
I think they had an Anya burger.
That's less neat. Why? Why an Anya burger?
I don't know. I think it was an Anya burger. It was just like a pink bun with
that's adorable
horns.
Oh, that is adorable.
If I can find the video, I'll send it to you because it's pretty fun.
Yeah, please do. I only say that it's it's just a little horrifying because when you say it out loud, just an Anya burger.
You're eating a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Now then, on to the next category. It was Best Continuing Series. I voted for One Piece. You voted your favorite for Kaguya-sama, and your objective was One Piece.
Yep.
I put all my chips on One Piece because
it's the right thing to do.
I'm confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get slapped in the face by Demon Slayer on that one.
Yeah, it could be. Demon Slayer could clean up. Like I can't recall. We should have looked at last year. But if I recall correctly,
Oh, yeah.
Demon Slayer cleaned up a lot of stuff that maybe it shouldn't have, maybe it should have, but it just like it's just a powerhouse, right? So
Yeah, it was Mugen Train.
yeah,
Let's be real.
exactly.
Now, next is best opening sequence.
Yes. What did I say?
You only had one vote, and it was for Rumbling.
Right. Well, I went and watched all of those openings, and Rumbling, I think that objectively, Rumbling is probably my favorite and probably would take the objective, but I got to touch on two others that I watched that were really good. One was Naked Hero, which is, I guess, the second opening for Ranking of Kings. It's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's when I watched the pilot today, it was a different opening, which was okay, but whatever the second opening is, the Naked Hero, it was like really impactful opening. So that probably stands a puncher's chance. But the one that I wanted to touch on that you had mentioned was too bubblegum for you. That Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon for your boy Kong Ming, that is catchy, and the intro.
You like that one?
Well, like it's obviously not my style of music, but like if something gets me moving and is just kind of funny, like it's got the right energy to be pretty funny for what the show seems to be, and it came with like a funny dance, and I love it with like I love anime openings and endings with all these funny dances. Like I think of Jujutsu Kaisen, right? The outro that has the sweet dancing, and then even the little bit of a dance in the with Genji and or not Genji, Denji and Power in the opening.
I love that one.
Right? Like there's something about like a little dance that's just so uplifting or something to that effect. And that Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon was like catchy and bouncy, and the dancing was just really funny. So I actually think that I'm gonna double down on Rumbling myself, but I wanted to say that Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon could take it.
What? Even against Zankyu Sanka?
Well, so that's the Demon Slayer one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I obviously went back and listened to that one too, and it's got that opening with the horns, and like it definitely is attention grabbing, especially obviously with the art. But
yeah, absolutely.
I this is gonna be throwing shade. I was falling asleep a little bit compared to some of these other ones. That's all I'll say. Is like, yeah, I know. It was just, and I don't actually mean that, because it was still really good. And like I said, the anime, like the actual animation and sequence, because that's the thing. These openings aren't just about the songs, is sort of what I take from the fact that it's about the sequence.
It's for setting up the entire episode or series.
Yeah, and so it is good in that way. Like what they actually show on screen is good, and the song is very good. But I just look at some of the features of Rumbling, that whole opening. It's artistic and it's loud and impactful in that way. Like it's just jaw-dropping in the usual Attack on Titan kind of way. And their intros are always like really abstract, so it's kind of just a bizarre and surreal, like it always seems to be with that show. And then going back to Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon again, it's just the same, like bouncy, dancey, probably sets up the feelings of the show, given, because we're going to talk about soundtracks again in a quick minute, and that show seems to have some crazy, awesome music, which makes sense given that it's kind of a music show. So,
oh, that's right, it is. Okay, I think I can give it a softer stance because of that fact.
Yeah, it like had to have catchy music and catchy opening, but I do see, I can understand it not being somebody's cup of tea.
And it doesn't help that my go-to listening for the day is death metal, and then I listen to that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you watch Rumbling, and you're like headbanging, right?
Absolutely, I am throwing up the horns for Eren Yeager to do more war crimes.
Your boy Eren Yeager.
Your boy Eren Yeager fighting your boy Kong Ming.
Yeah, no Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon here.
No, Eren is not dancing unless it's on somebody's grave.
Oh, dark. Dark.
And even then, he's still got that dead look in his eye.
Yeah, he's probably not having fun dancing on anyone's grave. He's just like,
no, he's just trying to make a statement.
Yeah. Something freedom.
Oh God, what a little psychopath. So you're still sticking with Rumbling all the way through for best opening sequence.
I think so, and I just wanted to touch on the fact that other one could be Naked Hero was very cool. Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon could probably take it, like could probably beat Rumbling based on my one watch of it. But yeah, I'm
okay,
still sticking.
My objective was the Rumbling. My favorite was Zankyou Sanka from Demon Slayer, and I'm putting all my cards down on this.
Very nice.
We're up to best ending sequence now, and you did the right job of educating yourself today. I did not, because we both voted comedy, and I'm still sticking with comedy.
I think it's a really safe bet. So when I went back and listened to that today, it was because again, I read it to be like ending sequence, right? Like instead of getting totally hung up on just the song, which is all I could think of yesterday, watching through some of these sequences, like comedy was such a good track, and
yeah,
right, and then the outro itself was really cool. But there was two others that I wanted to touch on that I watched today, which are the Koshaberi Biori. Which was that again? That's got to be.
Let me check.
You got it open in front of you? I'd have to switch.
It's Komi-san.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I was trying to picture because I have the classroom. I'm picturing the classroom in my mind because I wanted to touch on the fact that the sequence, like the song itself was really good. It had good sound to it, perfect for an outro. And then the sequence itself at least starts with this really cool art of the classroom. Like it's just like this angled shot of the classroom. And then there's all of the characters that you meet in Komi-san, but they're done like they don't have faces, which sounds creepy, but it's actually like done in an artistic way. Like it's all cell shaded and just really cool looking. And they're all just packing up and leaving the classroom. And that's like, that's at least the start of the sequence. And I just think that combined with the actual sound of it is, it's a really good ending as well. But it's got nothing against or to compete with My Heart Has Surrendered from Kaguya-sama. You need to when you I completely forgot about this. I actually did know about it. I just had completely forgot. It is the most surreal, really, it's a really good song and a really surreal and cool story sequence where it's taking the characters from the show and putting them in like a completely, like it tells a whole story in the ending sequence, and it ends up being like little ender spoiler here, but it ends up being like one of the main characters just is having a dream, and that's why he's dreaming of like space and rockets and all of this crazy stuff, and him and all the other characters are playing roles that they're just completely different from what they are in the show, and it ends up being a dream sequence, and it's really good. So I would almost change my answer. I'm not going to bother, but I would say that it stands to it stands to compete against comedy for the ending, just based on that alone. The actual sequence tells such a cool story.
Okay, crap. Wow.
Yeah, and worth you checking out if you ever watch Kaguya-sama. It's such a funny, good time of a show, and that ending will catch you off guard. You'll be like, wait, what? What is this other anime? I want to watch this as well. Like, it's so cool.
I do love that meme where like the anime opening is like really bubbly and fun, and then the anime ending is like really somber and walking through rain or something like that. Have you seen that meme?
Oh yeah, and it's a meme for a reason. Like it's just so
it really is.
Yeah, it's very common. Yeah, so that's my extra comments on endings. I do think I'll double down on comedy just because it's got both. Like the song is a banger and the sequence itself is pretty sweet.
By the way, we should comment on the fact that we didn't realize that there was a tiny little info bubble for the categories when we did this part one.
Yeah, we're winging it.
And by the way, ending sequence kind of screws us over because if you don't hover over that info bubble, you're only getting the songs. You're not getting like it's not telling you that like, oh yeah, we're also considering like what little story and time you get with the characters from the show in the ending sequence.
Yeah, which is exactly. And when I realized that today and went and watched these, it just kind of you're right. It just changed my perspective on them and gave me more.
I'm glad one of us did that research. No, I was just saying, I'm glad one of us did that research because I didn't even really stop to think about it.
Yeah, I wanted to, like, I was just feeling not bad, but I was itching to go back and watch these because I just didn't, for like, 4 categories or something like that, I didn't have a lot to go on with these. And then when I found out that it was sequence and went back and played it, I had to go back and watch those. So it was fun.
And I'm glad you did that, because I really did just take everything at face value. I was just like, oh yeah, I guess they mean the end song, so we'll just base it off that.
Yeah, exactly.
I blame Crunchyroll. There, I said it.
Fix your website. Make it clear.
Anyway, now that we have insulted the people, let's go on to best score.
Yes.
I put all my chips on Kevin Pinkin for Made in Abyss's score, and I'm not going back on that one.
It very well. So what I did was I actually popped open all of these scores today as well, and I didn't listen to them all because they're all 2 hours long. But I jumped through them and listened to bits and pieces. So I did listen to that Made in Abyss soundtrack, parts of it, and it's very atmospheric.
It is. It fits the vibe perfectly.
No kidding. Like, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, this is what he means. Like, this is why it adds so much to the show, because it just feels like again, I'm in the dark a little bit because I haven't watched any Made in Abyss yet, so I don't totally know, besides what you've kind of told me, what the themes are and what's actually happening. But based on what you've told me, the atmospheric nature of the kind of somber music that I heard today was like, okay, this goes.
Told you, man. I'm glad, because we did mention this in part 1. Like, when you go forward watching anime, you're gonna put the music front and center with everything else on the anime now. Yeah,
I absolutely am. And listening to, like, clicking through a bunch of these, or all of them, I listened to bits and pieces of all of these scores. And just hearing all of them, like, they were all so cool and interesting and different from each other. And I was just like, man, there is a whole universe of richness here that is absolutely, like I said last time, it is absolutely adding to my experience. Like, it's 100% part of my experience. It's just not a part of my experience that I'm fully conscious of. And I'd like to change that.
See, we're all about growth here. We told you guys we love progression.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to grow out of whatever my answer was, because I'm sure it was very uninformed. What did I say last time?
You chose Kota Yamamoto and Hiroyuki Sawano for Attack on Titan.
Yeah, so I clicked through that, and it's incredible, and it could very well win. But I have 3 new ones to comment on, and I think I will probably change my answer just straight up.
Okay.
I'll be super superficial here. Cyberpunk, wow. Really cool score. It's everything you might expect in a show about cyberpunk, and it went hard. So that's all I'll say about that one. Is wow, it alone could actually beat out AOT. Spy X Family has such a good score. I had no idea, but it is really cool. Like, it's just got such a variety for all the different, every one of these scores is meant to have a different sound for all the different settings of the show. But like lots of them were titled like Home Life or something like that, right? Like, you could tell, like, this is the song that plays most of the time when they're at home. This is the song that plays most of the time when they're having an argument or whatever. And like, I listened to little bits and pieces, and I'm like, wow, it's very good. And I could almost choose that as my favorite. But the Kong Ming soundtrack, I could actually see myself listening to maybe either of those. I could actually see myself like putting it on. It's
man, a turnaround for Kong Ming tonight.
Yeah, it's just a good time. It's very how do I even describe it? There's a variety, because there's like softer stuff. Like, I can definitely tell that there's some atmospheric pieces for different settings and moods as well, but like, it's also just full of a bunch of dance music that goes hard and is pretty fun. So I'm really torn between, like, I might even just change both my answers and say that Kong Ming could win and that Spy X Family's my favorite, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll put you down for Kong Ming for objective and Spy and No Name for favorite.
Yeah, they're really good. This was a particular one that I was really happy that I popped them open because there's so much there. Like, 2 hours of music each, and it's just like such a wild variety between all 6 nominees, but also within themselves because they're a score. Really cool experience, and I may actually take a few of these, like some of the 3 that I just listed. I may just put them on randomly and actually hear them start like front to back. So yes,
man, I was not prepared for this turnaround. I'm so excited about this and so proud.
Well, thanks. I'm glad there's room for it in this episode because, I'm adding to, at least 4 or 5 categories from last time and changing a bunch of stuff. So I appreciate you bearing with me.
I'm so excited to see like every new favorite thing you've come up with.
It gets me excited to watch some of these shows. I know we already kind of gushed about that last time, that going through these anime awards is like not necessarily branching out our tastes, but just showing us some of the cool stuff that's out there and wanting, adding to our lists, right? And today reinforced that even more. Like some things came off of my list and some things went on my list. Like I looked at Call of the Night and I should probably give it like an episode or something, but even just watching the trailer, I'm like, it's probably not for me. Even though it looks really cool, it's probably not for me. And then actually two that jumped out were Licorice Recoil. It looks pretty good.
Does it actually?
Yeah, just throwing that out there. It looks pretty like it looks spectacular and it just looks quite interesting as well. So that caught my eye. And then you had already caught this last time, but Akebi's sailor uniform.
Yeah.
Wow. I watched the trailer for that. Probably not, like it looks really cute. Maybe not something that I'll go out of my way to check out, but for the animation alone, I'd almost want to check it out for 2 reasons. One, I want to understand the story. Like, give me an inciting incident, because when I read the little synopsis, I was like, where's the story here? Like, what is actually going to happen? Which is probably true of a lot of slice of life type stuff. But even when I watched the trailer, I couldn't figure out what this was going to be about. Even more so when I watched the trailer. However, reason number 2, it might be worth at least an episode just to kind of enjoy the delight of it, is the animation, which you were gushing about last time. Holy smokes.
I told you.
Yeah. There is one scene in this trailer where she's doing that thing where she put her overshirt on and it just shows her from the back. Her shirt's on and her hair is like tucked into the back of her shirt. So she has to pull her hair out of the shirt. People do this every day. And that animation of her just pulling the hair out of the back of her shirt and letting it flow down, I was like, did they animate every hair on her head? Like, what is this? It was really astounding. So, that was another one that caught me off guard. You had seen little bits of it yesterday, but I hadn't. And, oh, man, it definitely belongs in that animation category. That's for sure.
I want it on record that that's like a really standard thing you see in anime with a lot of the female characters is, put the sweater on and pull the hair out.
The hair move.
But if that caught your eye to the point where even you're like, this is beautiful and outstanding, then that's a testament for it.
I was just like, I did a double take. I was like, how is it that this hair move caught my eye? She just pulled the hair out of the back of her sweater and it was eye-catching. So very cool.
Maybe I will check that out because I like the cute stuff. I like the gory stuff, but I like the cute things.
Yeah, take us
now
home.
We're on to best film. I only ever saw one of the movies, so I kind of only had one objective vote, but 2 were tied for it. They were Inuo and Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite was Jujutsu Kaisen, and your objective was One Piece Red.
Yep. And I think I stand by that. Like, there's still a part of me that's drawn to Dragon Ball Superhero for subjective and objective reasons. Like, I think it did pretty well and was probably pretty good for, at least to draw like a general audience into the theater kind of thing. But I stand by those. I think Jujutsu Kaisen 0 was just awesome, and then Red was probably received very well.
I'm sure it was. I'd love to watch the One Piece movies at some point.
I really want to watch them. Like, a bunch of them are available to me. I want to click play, but I need to kind of go through a what to watch when list, because I know that a bunch of them, if not all of them, are going to be non-canon little mini arcs, but I still need to watch them at the right times so that I don't get particular spoilers that I know are out there, right? So
The first 4 or 5 arcs were edited into movies.
I noticed that. I probably should have just watched it that way, but I like the purist in me wanted to just watch it how it originally kind of ran. But I love that they've done that. Just smash it.
I do too. I wish Shippuden would do that at some point,
be
because that would be so sick.
Yeah. I would probably just bite the bullet and watch those instead of watching how it's originally intended.
I don't think anyone would blame you, even me.
It's such a cool idea to pare it down into something more punchy and flowy, right?
And easily digestible too.
Like, you know what show did that? Haikyuu. And they're awesome. Like, I would never tell somebody to just watch those, but for a rewatch, I absolutely recommend them. So Haikyuu, watch it front to back more than once. It is a masterpiece. But if you are crunched on time, the movies cut together, edit down particular volleyball games, like particular arcs, the way we're talking about, which are essentially volleyball games in Haikyuu. And it's done so well, and it makes it obviously not bite-sized because it's still film length, but it's bite-sized compared to watching the whole anime, right? And it's just so flowy and punchy.
True. I didn't know it did that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think there's 3 of them, and I don't think it covers exactly everything, but it perfect for a rewatch.
I was kind of wondering how much you kind of have to put everything in a movie if you're going to turn your full season into one.
Yeah, I think it would be a little different if that was your full on intention, like to make it really. It's very much a supplement, I guess, is the thing I'll say about it. Because, you know, if you, having not really seen any Haikyuu, were to watch these movies, you would still get full stories. But I think that you would end up inevitably having a slightly lesser experience than watching the full show. And it's because they have to make those hard decisions, right, to cut things out. So films, we summed up films. Nice.
We're on to best song, and now I'm excited to hear what you have come up with for your new answer.
So what did we say for songs?
For me, my favorite was The Rumbling. For Objective was My Nonfiction, and I'm still sticking by that. I listened to that song all day today.
Yep.
And for you only had The Rumbling, but now I want to know what your new answer is.
So I actually have a quick little blurb. I kind of feel bad because I'm looking here. I've got a blurb for a bullet point for 5 out of the 6, so I forget which one I'm missing here, and I probably should give it some of its due as well. But basically, I said that comedy's awesome. Like that song, we talked about that at length. Like it's just really good. It's Rumbling that I don't have here. Rumbling was on there, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I don't have on here. We don't have to talk about Rumbling. It's fantastic. It hits hard,
We already
right?
know it's good.
Exactly. So comedy, we also already know it's good. It's really good. Now that I've heard Cheeky Cheeky Bon Bon, we've already talked about that tonight as well. It belongs on this list, even if it's not your taste. It totally belongs on this list, and I could see it getting a ton of votes. That "Shall We Dance" song sounds really good.
Like I said, that's the one. If it came up on a playlist, I absolutely wouldn't skip it.
Yeah, that's exactly now that I've heard it, I completely agree with you. Really well done, really good song just in general, which was it was just cool to hear. I don't think it'll win this category. I have a new answer, I think, for this category, but it's not that song, even though that song is just shockingly good.
What's your new answer?
Well, I'll just say one last thing. New Genesis was also really good. I listened to that as well. The one.
Yeah, I really like that one too. Yeah. I bet it encapsulates the entire film perfectly.
Yeah, I tried not to watch the actual video on that one because I obviously didn't want the whole movie spoiled, but I caught little bits and pieces, and the song itself just had really good energy. And so I'm like, man, if this goes with that movie, it's got to be good.
I think the music video was just the girl singing.
Yeah, it did look like that. Yeah, but it was like cutting to shots of some of the other characters and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to listen. I'm not going to watch.
Understandable.
Walking on eggshells a little bit. But dude, My Nonfiction, I completely forgot about that song. It's same as that ending that I talked about earlier from Kaguya. Oh my gosh, My Nonfiction. It's really good. It's so good. And I remember when that came up in the show, I was just blown away because have you seen the video?
I haven't. I've only heard the song.
Oh man, the video is awesome. It's like a full-on dance choreographed, like with the same kind of partial CG as is in that I would say it's the same as like the Denji and Power scene that we were talking about earlier.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, it's just like it's CG, but the reason it is like it's all motion captured like dance choreography of all the main characters like doing this musical performance on a stage. It's very similar to what I talked about earlier from that show, that outro that told like a whole different story. This felt very like surreal if these characters had an entirely different anime about them that was like a pop idol anime basically. And so it just makes this amazing music video that catches you off guard when it plays after at the end of because I think that it plays as an outro to a very particular episode. And it's just such a banger. So I just totally forgot that song was a thing when we recorded last. And I would probably update it to my new favorite for sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. Now that I've heard it again, I'm like, nah, that's the one. And then in terms of what's gonna actually win, I can't even. I have no guess now because that song is incredible. Chiki Chiki Bon Bon could totally win, man. And then Rumbling is Rumbling. So I'll probably play it safe and say that my new favorite is nonfiction, and then Rumbling could be the objective, but I could totally see Chiki Chiki Bon Bon being the winner as well. So
well, now we really need to come back and check best song because I need to know now what is gonna get it.
When you listened to it, did you watch the video? The sequence? Do you remember?
No, I just checked out the songs themselves.
Oh, yeah. I think that if you watch it with the opening, you'll be like, oh, I see what they did. Like, it just keeps popping in with some of the characters doing this little dance, and you're just like, oh, that's catchy. So that might have been what won me over a little bit on it, too.
Okay, that's fair. That's reasonable. That does. Seeing that with that song probably does make it a whole lot more digestible.
It's kind of like to put
and
it
more
in.
Fun.
Sorry, say that again.
And more fun.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's kind of like not the same genre here, but when you watch that original opening, I don't know why this came to mind, but when you watch that original opening for Demon Slayer, and it's like an AMV, like it's just got this crazy rush of energy, and you're seeing the Demon Slayer artwork just blast your eyes, and it's just got it just takes you along for this ride, and you're just amped up. It's not the same genre, it's not the same level of amplitude, but it's the same sort of thing where you're just like, you hit play on a show, and if the opening has some gimmick like a fun dance and a catchy tune, you're just bobbing your head around. Or another example is Attack on Titan. We talked about this last time, but every one of their openings is catchy in its own way, and the opening sequences are visually striking in their own surreal ways, and you can't help but watch them a bunch of times, right? They just captivate.
Okay. Now I need to look at this song under a new lens. All right, you're turning me around on it.
I mean, I'm also, high on just seeing all of these today, right? Like I'm the most biased I could possibly be, especially when we get, I think, 2 or 3 categories from now, you're going to just hear my newfound bias just spew from my mouth. So
I'm willing to wager a guess on what that one might be.
You'll be able to guess. So keep us going. That was song.
All right. That was best song. We're on best director now, which I still don't know what an animation director does, but I'm not. We should probably preface this with the fact that we are not saying they probably don't do anything. They probably do a crap load of work.
Yes. Oh, they absolutely would. We just don't know what that work is.
Yeah. So my objective vote was Kazuhiro for Spy X Family, and my favorite was Sotozaki for Demon Slayer, which was also your favorite.
Excellent.
And your objective was Yosuke Hata for Ranking of Kings.
Yep, and I stand by that. I've obviously only got a little sampling, but
that was enough to make you stand by it.
Yep, like that was a shot in the dark yesterday where I'm just basing things off rumor, and then today I'm like, oh yeah, it's got to be.
Man, with how much hype Ranking of Kings has just on this list alone, it probably will take it.
We'll see. We'll see in a a couple weeks, I guess, is what it is, right?
Yeah,
From the
I
time
thought it
this
was going to come out I thought it was happening on the 25th. I swear to God, I read the 25th on Crunchyroll, and I need to stop trusting them because they make a liar out of me so many times.
I think you're right. Like it was like 25th or 26th. I thought I saw. Or no, it's March 4th.
Yeah, so I don't know where I got the 25th from.
Yeah, when you said it, I believed it a second ago, and then
because I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, now to best main character.
Yep.
My objective was David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I'm kind of willing to stand by it.
What was your favorite?
Lloyd Forger for Spy X Family.
He's good.
he is. He's great.
He's good action, good just hearing him think is the best.
It's true though.
Yeah.
Seeing him interact with other people is something else, especially the people in his line of work.
Oh yeah. And telling like an undercover agent story is just really cool because you get to see what comes across to us as the viewer as a bunch of improv, right? Like you get to watch Lloyd be put on the spot, right? And then do things in the moment and try to, solve whatever conundrum he's placed in.
Yeah. I kind of hope he takes that one, if I'm being completely honest here.
And then what did I say?
Your favorite was Marin Kitagawa. I think she's from Kaguya-sama?
No, Marin was My Dress Up Darling.
Oh, that's right.
This is one where if I was to go back and see all those 6 characters, I would probably, now that I've remembered a bunch about certain shows, maybe I would change things. But so I said she was my favorite pick.
Yep, and your objective was Boji.
Oh man, we are changing this vote.
Are we swapping it?
We're doing all in on Boji. Boji is just favorite. Boji, it's pure Boji. It's always been Boji. I just didn't know who I was yesterday.
There is only Boji.
There is only Boji.
That is his name, right? Boji?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, sweet.
Oh yeah. So that's a 100% change, please and thanks, because yeah, he's best boy. He's
done and done.
Oh yeah.
All right, I can't wait to watch this friggin' show now. Jesus.
And now watch. We've overhyped it.
Yeah, really. Everybody's gonna have to watch it now.
Setting you up for failure.
Don't come crying to us if it doesn't live up to your expectations.
That's very true. It was very subjective. Like it just caught me at the right time. Maybe it was absolutely partially due to the hype train, but then it was just the beautiful animation and just the style, and then the parts of the story that you get to see in the first episode. You're just like, wow. The feels. This is cool. I want to see where it goes.
When they have a good starting episode, dude. It's if they can when they suck you in on the first episode, you're in for the ride.
Yep, 100%.
We're on the best side character. Okay, I read up. Anyway, my favorite and your favorite was Tengen Uzui from Demon Slayer.
Yep.
And our objective was Anya Forger, and I'll be honest, I'm not changing this one.
I'm not changing it. I wholeheartedly agree. That is Anya for sure, and Tengen for sure.
They are, yeah, no. What else can you say about them?
They're fantastic and perfect for that category. And I think Anya will objectively take it for realsies.
She probably will, absolutely.
Yeah, and then Tengen's, he's our boy.
He is the man.
Yeah, that's right. I should say he's our man because he is man.
That's all, man. Oh my God! Let's go to must protect at all costs now.
Oh, let's get to this category.
I think this is where your vote changes.
Oh, it changes so hard, and I could see this is like a death battle, man. Like now that I know, this is totally a death battle, and would actually be. Like, I could see these two characters just going head-to-head in this category, and I'm very curious to see who wins now. And who I'm talking about is Anya, who was my pick from last time.
Yep.
It was my double pick, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't say guessing, because I lived it 24 hours ago. But I do believe it was my double pick. And now I am double switching to Boji. And I know that that's probably the hype train and the recency bias of just watching it a few hours ago. But I would give my life for this little boy.
My son.
My son. Oh, man. Like, just one episode in, and I'm just like, we must protect at all costs, and I still stand by that for Anya as well. She's just so wonderful, and that's why I say that she and Boji could go head to head in this category, and will. She's awesome. She is best girl, and he is best boy. But right now, my heart lies with him, and I think that it's probably a toss-up between who objectively wins this category. I'm very curious now.
From everything I'm hearing, it's got to be a coin toss between those two for sure.
Yeah.
And my favorite was Anya, because obviously.
Yep.
And my objective was Komi-san, because she, like I said in the first part, she is just a sweet girl who wants to make friends.
Yeah, she belongs on this list 100% as well.
She absolutely does. And that is our recap.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I didn't think I would have so many things to change, but I'm really glad we recapped it, because today changed a lot.
I'm really glad you were able to have that turnaround so quickly too, especially with the music.
Squeezed it in. I was listening to music when I probably shouldn't have today, and it was the best.
Oh, you're always supposed to listen to music. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase that. It wasn't just on in the background. I was like trying to take it in. All of my attention was focused on it, when my attention probably should have been on other things. But it was worth every minute of.
That's what I like to hear. No regrets.
No
regrets. Are we ready to pick back up?
Oh yeah. Let's press on.
So here we are now. We're getting back into the nominees. We have, what was it? 9? We have 9 left, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 9 left. Yep.
All right.
And we've got the big ones. We saved them for last.
Oh, yeah. So what are we starting with?
We're starting with Best Action.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Honestly, I can see it coming down between two of them.
Yep, but I know the one, though.
Yeah.
So give us the rundown.
Here we are for the nominees for Best Action. We got Lycoris Recoil. I looked that up last night. I can't remember if it was Lycoris.
It's
or
Licorice.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yeah, but it's like I heard a character say it in the trailer, and it was like,
okay,
Ricoris kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I see now. Okay.
Yeah.
Lycoris Recoil.
Yeah.
I want licorice now.
Yes. We should have brought some.
Anyway, got it. We should have gotten Twizzlers. Anyway, Licorice Recoil, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Spy X Family, Attack on Titan, and Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc.
So which two do you think are going head to head?
Absolutely Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, those were on my mind as well. I think the third runner-up here that's battling it out is actually Edge Runners. It had some unreal action.
I think so too, if I'm being honest.
But the other two are just established behemoths, and I think that's what kind of squeezes Cyberpunk out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't know how Cyberpunk can go against the hype that's been around Attack on Titan and just everything that happened in Demon Slayer.
Yeah. So where does your heart lie?
I gotta give Demon Slayer the favorite, and I gotta give the objective to Attack on Titan.
Very nice. I'm gonna double up on Demon Slayer for this one.
Right on.
Yeah, it's the favorite, and I do wholeheartedly agree that it's going head to head with Attack on Titan in this category. I should kind of try to refresh myself of what all action sequences took place in this particular final season, final part, part 2, part 3.
78.
Yeah, subsection B of Attack on Titan final season part 2. However, I remember it being hype, great action, but Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, craziest action I've ever seen in my life.
We said it in the very second episode of the entire podcast, or maybe it was the first one, but that whole arc, the second it picks up, it doesn't stop.
That's right. Whereas Attack on Titan probably has a few great sequences. It's very dialogue and story heavy, as we all know, right? And then it has like moments of crazy intense action. True for Demon Slayer as well. Lots of story, lots of dialogue. Peppered with action, though, maybe more so than Attack. And then those final, like, whatever it is, 4 episodes, like, a solid third of this entire arc is just pure action, it feels like. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
No. You're remembering right.
So it's
they just go
action.
Straight for it. Mm-hmm. The reason I'm picking Attack on Titan is because, like, the fights in it, God, dude, I've never seen fights and action sequences just that leave me so sweaty and my heart is trying to jump out of my throat.
There's stakes at this point, in Attack on Titan. And so I get what you mean with the heart jumping out of the throat. aspect there because like the story is boiling, right?
It really is.
That's a good call out.
I had to check the little info. The category rewards a show that has action at its core. These titles should leave the audience with their hearts pounding, their palms sweaty, and everyone gasping for breath.
well,
Attack on Titan does that.
Yep. I think it does that in spades.
Okay, we're gonna lighten it up now. We're on to best comedy.
Oh, this will be good.
Wow. I wasn't prepared for this one.
Yeah. All right, read them out.
We're gonna start with the one I wasn't prepared for, which was Uncle from Another World. I feel like I saw a trailer on that briefly, but it's not ringing many bells.
Would you like a synopsis?
I would like a synopsis, please.
In modern-day Japan, Takafumi Takaoka picks up his uncle, who recently awakened from a 17-year coma after being hit by none other than Truck-kun.
Oh no! Really?
I remember the premise of this one. It's like a reverse. It's like Uncle comes out of an isekai. So going back to the premise, Uncle shows the ability to use magic spells and explains that he was actually sent to another world. Takafumi lets his uncle move in with him, and he, joined by Takafumi's childhood friend Sumika, spends his days helping Uncle adjust to modern society while also watching his memories of the other world. What a great reverse isekai plot twist.
If I'm already laughing at the premise,
Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I need to see that now.
Yeah.
I like isekais. I want that on record. Like they're you can do them right, and then the others are just like, it's a potato chip show.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now we're back to Kotaro Lives Alone. I think we looked that up last time.
We did, and I don't have much to say about it, unfortunately.
Neither do I. Then there's Ya Boy Kong Ming.
You can only imagine that that's pure entertainment. Like, I'm sure it's dripping with comedy.
I would like to watch this one too now, because if I can at least get a couple chortles out of it, then it's a good time.
It could be a chortler, man. And I think I would give it at least an episode or two, especially after all of the gushing I did about its music side.
Yeah,
that's
true. Then we got My Dress Up Darling Again, which is that actually a comedy?
Well, it's a comedy as much as any other slice of life is. Like, there's always kind of, you know what I mean? And so it puts a smile on your face, and there's definitely funny parts. You get the exhale rapidly out of the nose kind of chuckles, but it doesn't beat some of these other ones.
Slice of Life actually does comedy pretty well. I was getting a good laugh out of Horimiya. Or Horimiya, I can't remember.
I found where I can check that one out, and I've put it on my list on your recommendation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next is Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious. I don't want to jump the gun. I'll let you read the last nominee, but we'll circle back to Kaguya.
Okay, and the last nominee is Spy X Family.
Oh yeah. Very funny.
That one's got to get my vote all the way through.
So that's your double vote?
That's my double.
I think my favorite from a comedy perspective is going to be Kaguya-sama. It's hilarious. And it's one of the funniest, one of the funnier animes I think I've ever seen. Like, it's really funny. And just like really well done given its premise. It's a pretty good time. But I mean, Spy X Family also, you've got these three characters. That's something else I was thinking about in the last few hours, is that what a trio of characters, all with their own secret inner worlds in Spy X Family, right? And then the dynamics that unfold. And friggin' Anya's faces and just all of the hijinks that come from these interactions. I think I will say that Kaguya is my favorite, and my objective vote is aligned with yours, Spy X Family.
I know we talk about it a lot with Anya, but every time they do it, man, every time they go to her listening in on somebody's thoughts and then they do the little reaction, it gets me every time,
it's
dude.
So funny, yeah.
Yeah, I'll never get sick of it.
No, I'm with you.
These are some pretty good runners up for comedy, though. Like Uncle from Another World sounds like a hoot.
Yeah, exactly. I need to add that to my list, and Ya Boy Kong Ming's on the list now too, for sure.
Yeah, I got to give that one its fair shot.
All right.
Okay, we ready for the next one?
Oh yeah.
We're on to Best Drama now.
Lay it on me.
86 Part 2, which I think I have 86 in my watch list.
This is one where, funny enough, the friend that I was hanging out with before we filmed the first part, like 86 hadn't come up at all in part 1, but I had just heard about this show moments before we recorded part 1, and it seems quite cool. It's got like spider mechs, and it seems to have some. It's a political drama, like most mecha anime. It's a political, war drama with people considering. This is a crazy part. People considering these mecha that are being piloted by a particular race of people, they consider them drones because they don't consider that race of people, which is just messed up. And so, yeah, I think that's like at the core of it. They're just like, yeah, we've lost no human casualties, like, because we fight with drones. But one of the main characters is like, those aren't drones. Like, there's people in there. And my understanding is that some people don't think those people are people, which is awful. Makes for probably a very good commentary, like very dramatic drama with probably lots of juicy stuff to chew on.
Okay, so I checked. It's not in my watch list, but I am a little intrigued by this now.
If the political drama part isn't enough, like crazy spider mechs.
Yeah, there you go.
They had a unique look to them.
Man, it says something when you need to have like the dystopian mecha world to really lay out how messed up political things can get.
Yeah, it's a good medium for doing that.
It absolutely is. That's why Gundam has lasted so long.
Okay, so that's 86.
That's 86. Then we've got Kotaro Lives Alone Again, which how can you be a comedy and a drama? We'll never know.
unless we watch it, but yeah, we might not.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about it isn't really drawing me to it. But I'm sure, like, it's actually really good.
Yeah, if I hear a couple things, kind of like the whole Ranking of Kings hype train, like I had heard a couple things that it was already on my list, and then part 1 of this series just tipped me over the edge, and I had to go watch it. If something, I could foresee something tipping me over the edge and having me pull the trigger to go watch Kotaro, but so far I'm with you. It's just not totally drawing me in.
We're not trying to be unfair to it. It's just,
It's got to be on this list for a reason, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does. It's paired up again with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and then there's this one called Dance Dance Danseur.
Yes.
I have never heard of this.
Nope. I am looking it up as we speak because I have never heard of it. Let's get to the premise synopsis.
Let's go.
Junpei Murao used to not like ballet. Oh, it's ballet. But after seeing a man perform it, he suddenly finds himself fascinated by the art. His father dies in a tragic accident, and Junpei gives up ballet to be masculine. That's in quotes. However, one day, a new transfer student named Miyako Godai arrives, who brings about his love for ballet once again. That could be interesting for like a sports drama.
Sounds kind of... I might give that one a watch, too. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's not cool because they said, hey, his dad's dead and he doesn't want to dance anymore.
Yeah, especially even just hearing that in the premise, it does like make my ears perk up, because this idea of the tragedy happening, and then somehow that ties into him giving up dancing to be more masculine, which is in and of itself like a tragedy. So yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, that one has my intrigue now.
I can see just based on the premise why it would be up against these in terms of drama.
And I bet like the storytelling mixed with the animation and art is probably on another level too.
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
Tears will flow in that one. I'm going to make that gamble.
Yep. It's a safe bet.
My favorite, Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun.
I presume that it's a intense drama.
Oh my God, dude. I wasn't sure what to expect from that arc, but the second that arc started to pick up, I was like, I kind of want it to keep going, but dear God, make it stop. I need some water.
Oh, wow.
Let me off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, please.
That says a lot. That sounds heavy.
Oh my God. It is on another level.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad that I found somewhere to watch it.
I'm so excited for you guys to start watching it. I am after tonight. I might just beg you guys to dive into it.
Hey, after ranking, I'm all in. It was gonna be my next, but now it may have gotten booped. I mean, maybe I can do both at the same time and just be super sad.
Dude, load up your plate like I did.
Yep. I might need to dip into some other, themes and stuff, but we'll see.
You're gonna have to visit everything in best comedy after that.
Exactly. Maybe we need to balance out that plate.
That's what I do.
Love it.
And last but not least, of course, is Attack on Titan.
Yep. It belongs here, I would say. It is very much another political drama at this point. I mean, always.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch things up. My favorite, obviously, is going to go to Made in Abyss. But my objective is going to that Dance Dance Danseur.
Just a shot in the dark based on... I can totally see that. Sounds very French.
Yeah, man.
Which makes sense. Ballet. I'm just looking at the list, trying to digest here. I'm thinking probably... favorite on this list, I'm sure it's Made in Abyss, but having not seen any, I can't just say that. So I would say probably, as far as drama's concerned, I would probably give it to Attack on Titan from like a favorite perspective, because it's basically one of two that I've seen on here. And Cyberpunk, while dramatic, is it is a drama, but it's a bunch of other things as well. True of Attack on Titan as well, but I do think that Attack on Titan is that sort of warring political drama with a lot of crazy twists and turns. So I think I'm going to give it to that from a favorite perspective. And then
okay,
I could probably give it the objective too, but I think I would be... I don't know. I'm very lost in this category just because of those three. Like, it could easily be Made in Abyss. I know that that show hits hard from you and from other places that I hear it. Katara Lives Alone, I'm assuming it also is, I'm assuming it's pretty heavy.
I'm basing it off just the name and the thumbnail. It's got to be an orphan kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, we read the thing yesterday, didn't we? Do we need to read it again? Do we need to quickly dip into it? I
think we should, because maybe I just automatically made a false memory.
Let's go. I've got it right here. Only 10 episodes. Premise.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if we did. I don't know if we did read this, man. It's very short. So, Kotaro Sato, a 4-year-old boy living on his own, moves into the apartment 203 next door to Shin Karino, a manga artist. Whoa.
What?
We did not read that yesterday.
No.
We did it dirty.
We did not.
A 4-year-old? There is no chance based on the title and the fact that he's 4 years old. There's no chance that show isn't heavy.
It's got to drop some bombs.
Like it's got this like brightly colored packaging on top and this cutesy kind of art style. Oh, there's no way that it isn't just heartbreaking.
It's, to me, it's screaming like first episode's gonna have you going for the hanky.
Yeah. But I mean, if he meets, like some other cool, I'm very intrigued with it being like a manga artist. That's very cool. So he probably
that kind of reminds me of everybody's least favorite Godzilla movie, where there's this latchkey kid and his next door neighbor invents toys.
It could be very well along those lines. Huh. Man, that's real shot in the dark trying to pick the objective on this one. I think that it could totally be that Dance Dance. After that premise, it could totally be it. Well, maybe I'll take a shot in the dark too. I almost want my shot in the dark to be Made in Abyss because
I mean, you could.
Yeah, I've heard from you how crazy that show is. I'm gonna do it. Let me just do it the service of making it my objective pick, just based on rumor alone.
Up next is Best Fantasy.
Oh, this is not quite what I was expecting in a lot of ways.
I know 2 of these, and I know of 3 of them, and one of them is a pure outlier.
I've got pretty similar breakdown. So lay it on us. What are our nominees here?
Nominees for Best Fantasy are The Case Study of Vanitas, Cower 2? Court 2?
I've been seeing that a lot. Core 2, it's on, at least 3 of these in this category alone. Maybe I should look it up so that we can educate ourselves. A core is a measure of length, and it's 12 to 13 episodes typically. Oh, I wonder if it's almost like a sub-season kind of thing.
Maybe.
Like when they break things down. Like, for example, they're calling Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War Core 2. Like, at least somebody, on this Reddit post is. And I think that makes sense because 1,000-Year Blood War arc is happening, and they're not maybe going to call it necessarily seasons. It's probably just going to be continuation. It's probably just going to be called 1,000-Year Blood War arc. And so the first chunk that we saw was like a 13-episode core. So learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going forward with knowledge.
Neat.
And again, we have Ranking of Kings. We have Overlord 4, which I have never seen Overlord. If you put a gun to my head and ask me what that's about, I would just say there's a skeleton guy.
Yeah, I only know it through a friend. It comes highly recommended. I think it is a power fantasy, maybe even an isekai. I don't know exactly how the main character becomes overpowered, but it's that typical power fantasy, I think, where the main character is... I think he's basically the demon lord of the fantasy world and is just extremely strong, which I've seen a few shows like that, and they're a good time. And I actually hear nothing but good things about Overlord. So it's been low on my list, but absolutely on my list, just out of reputation.
Same here. Yeah, it's been on my list for a while too, because some site did like a whole most popular anime in the States, and Overlord had quite a fair few chunks of the States covered. So I have been intrigued by it for a little bit.
Funny that we're both in the same spot though. Like, gun to our heads, like ultimately I'm with you. Like, skeleton guy, I think he's pretty overpowered.
Cool skeleton dude, that's all I know about it.
Yep.
Then we got Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
Yes.
Which is that another isekai, or is it?
It is. This will maybe catch you off guard. I've got a lot to say about this one.
Have you seen it?
Yes, it is actually awesome. I only have one gripe with it, which is that its fan service parts are they're not atrocious, but they're a little more than necessary at times, and that's about it though. Ultimately it catches its stride and it's not overloaded with those moments, I would say. It's a cool one also just because of the mechanics of it. It's an isekai where the main character is legitimately like reincarnated and born in the body of a baby. And
oh my god.
Yeah, so he's born in a fantasy world, has all the cognition of an adult man who got truck-cooned. He was just like a shut-in is the idea. And it's actually very emotional, very sad, because he was nobody. And I think, like, I know that they're really breaking down sort of aspects of his inner psyche in a way, because like he's two different people in these worlds. Like he's one person, he's one consciousness, but the life he lived in let's call it our world versus the life he's choosing to live in this fantasy world, it's completely different. And that's what I think isekai should do ultimately. I really feel like we probably shouldn't just have a character from our world get yeeted into a fantasy world and that be that. Oh, they don't know anything about the world, and that's all we have to go on. It's a lot more interesting when they have to reflect on who they were and what was going on in their lives and flash back to that or draw on that in various ways. There's a couple of them that I've seen that do that, and I just like it a lot more. And so this one, it's like pretty emotional whenever his real who he was in our world comes into play. You're just like, oh man, it's just this idea that he, wasted the life that he had kind of thing. And this is him getting a second chance. It's your typical kind of second chance idea. And then they're in a very compelling fantasy world with outstanding artwork. Like it's one of the prettiest animes I think I've ever seen. And they do this incredible thing with the intros where I don't know if this show has a proper opening. because every time I hit play on an episode, the credits roll over a cinematic, expansive set of shots of the environment that the episode is about to take place in. So, say the party has just recently made it to a new town, and the episode is starting in that new town. The opening credits roll over, music is like fantasy type music is playing, and you're just getting these sweeping shots of the citadel and the townsfolk and the whatever, you know what I mean? And they're painting this picture of the setting that you're going to be in. And it's just really cool. Like, I'm sure other shows do that, but I've never seen it before. It's always an opening.
I love when an anime does that.
Yeah.
The only time I ever see an anime do that is when it's a special episode.
Right. And that's exactly it. In this case, it does it in every episode, I'm quite sure. So,
okay.
Yeah, which is just like, it's just a treat, right?
Yeah. Like Demon Slayer did it. They did it for the last episode of the arc.
Yes, it's exactly like that idea, but it's every time. And different every time because they're Roman.
That has me sold already, just barring the fact that it's an isekai and it just does that, just goes right into the story each time. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I said, some of the fan service moments are like hard to swallow, but not the hardest to swallow that I've ever seen, admittedly. And it's not saturated with them, which is something I appreciate. And the main character, even though he's lecherous in a bunch of ways, he's actually like, I think that's part of his character development as well, is he's like learning to not be that way in some instances, and he's learning a lot of different things about himself, but he's also just, they actually utilize the fact that he's got an adult's intellect in the body of, like, the main story that I'm watching is taking place where he's like mid-teens, right? Like he's probably like 15 years old now, so he's still not even aged up to an adult, and he's a teenager with the intellect of an adult, and that comes into play because he's very he's cognitively powerful for his age, and to be in this fantasy world with the knowledge he has and such. So that was a lot on Mushoku Tensei. Did not expect to do that.
I wasn't prepared for that either, but I'm kind of glad you were able to paint the picture of it.
It's a cool one.
It has kind of been on my radar, but kind of just in the background a little bit. But now that I know how it goes and how much you enjoy it, I think I can bump it up a little bit.
Beautiful.
Then we got two more categories, which are, or no, God bless it, two more nominees for Best Fantasy, which are Made in Abyss and Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say about like both of those? Like, are those fantasy to you?
Made in Abyss, I would say it is, yeah, because it does have the otherworldly aspects to it, and of course, like, there's so many different characters and monsters and this entire world that has its own rules to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with Demon Slayer, that one, I don't know, dude, because like when you really look at it, it's just Edo period Japan with demons.
Yeah, like there's a supernatural element to it, of course, but
yeah, it's more supernatural than I would say fantasy.
Yeah, right. I'm with you there. So, funny enough, like even though anytime it's popped up, I've probably put it as my favorite in this.
Same here.
It's not going to get it for this category. Just for that alone, I'm with you. It's Edo period Japan with some supernatural elements. And it's just not a fantasy world to me.
No. Man.
Do we need to...
I kind of want...
Sorry.
I don't know.
Do we need to read about Vanitas? Do we know that one?
I don't. I know nothing about it.
A bit of a paragraph. Wasn't wanting that. Okay. During an airship ride to Paris, the vampire, Noe Archiviste, meets Vanitas, a human claiming to be a vampire's doctor, curing them of the malnomen, which causes vampires to behave predatorily against their will. The book with which he heals, the Book of Vanitas, is connected to the original Vanitas, the vampire of the Blue Moon, hated by the vampires of the Red Moon, who form the traditional vampire society. Noe and Vanitas join forces to heal vampires, but there lurks a threat of some unknown force named Charlatan, which may be responsible for corrupting the sick vampires. Well, that sounds cool.
That does sound really cool.
Man,
this one's tough too.
Pop that list open. When I went and watched the Call of the Night trailer, it didn't totally speak to me, but that premise of Case Study of Vanitas kind of speaks to me a little bit. Like, that's a cool take on vampires, healing them and making them less predacious compared to what we're used to. That's kind of curious.
I have to remind myself too that like fantasy isn't swords and elves and crap. It's otherworldly things.
Totally. Like when we say supernatural, technically
it is a fantasy, but
it's just not my fantasy.
But with the way, I think it's just Demon Slayer's execution of it.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? What are your picks?
Oh my god, I have no clue. Obviously, I want to give my favorite to Made in Abyss, but
I mean, if it's fantasy enough, you very well could.
It is. It does check off a lot of the fantasy elements for sure. But then, I don't know, you telling me about Mushoku Tensei kind of has me gunning for that for objective. But then, of course, Ranking of Kings is in here. Yeah.
That makes it a bit of a toss-up. You know, one thing I've been noticing as of learning about what Core 2 means, something that popped into my head is that Ranking of Kings, even though I'm hyping it up, maybe it tapers off or levels off, I should say. And in this most recent core of episodes, maybe it doesn't have the same weight to it that it probably did last year, maybe when the first episodes came out. This explains why I thought earlier that Ranking of Kings came out earlier than it did. I'm like, there's no way it came out this year. And I think that's actually probably true. This was probably an anime from maybe a year ago, the first few episodes, like the first core, the first 13 episodes or so. And then this is a continuation of it. And so I wonder if it levels off. I wonder if it will have the impact that the first bit seems to have had and that it already seems to have on me. Maybe some of its power is somewhat diminished, and it might lose some of the categories that I've been betting on it. I'm going to keep betting on it, but it's just an observation that popped into my head as we've been going.
That is a good thing to keep in mind, though. Yeah, just because the show is still going, it's not like it's keeping its full weight the entire way through.
Totally. And as a hint for the objective here, I can say that Mushoku Tensei has kept its weight and it's only gotten better. It just keeps getting better and better. So just to give you some time to think, it's going to be my double vote. Although I would say that objectively, not knowing the hype of this second chunk of Ranking of Kings, keeping with the same theme as before of it just being seemingly awesome, I would say that it's probably duking it out based on these six. Maybe Ranking of Kings and Mushoku Tensei are duking it out for the objective winner here, but I'm gonna double up my answer on Mushoku Tensei.
I don't know what to do.
Welcome to every other category for me.
Yeah. Hey, at least you got stuck with the music ones. This one's just purely on the shows.
Probably a handful of shows for you to check out at some point.
Yeah, like Case Study of Vanitas. That sounds incredible.
Sounds pretty cool. I might put it somewhere on a watch list.
Same here, and I think Overlord might have gotten bumped up a tiny bit too, just from all of this.
Yep.
Man, I'm just, you know what? I'll do the favorite for Made in Abyss and objective for Ranking of Kings.
Nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then we can see what actually takes that top spot.
Yeah, this one is, I'm going to put this one as like top 3 of what we need to check back on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, what is next? Best romance.
Ooh.
Best romance. I enjoy a good romance anime.
Yep, I do as well. And this one will actually be tough. There's a bunch that I don't know, and then there's a couple that are really fantastic for this category. So
I haven't seen.
Read them off.
The nominees for Best Romance are Love After World Domination. This looks like a color-coded superhero romance.
Would you like a premise?
You know what?
For any of these?
Yes, I would.
You can just request. Request them.
Let's get a premise for this one, and the next one I'll read after.
Sounds good. Okay. We've got way too long of a paragraph. I feel like I say that every other time. All
Cliff
right.
notes, people.
Yeah, what? Like, can't they do it in one sentence? Like, The Boy Who Lives Alone. That one was one sentence, and it was enough. Okay, I'm going to try to cut this down. So, in order to combat the villainous secret society Gecko, who have burnt half the world and are planning to burn the rest, the hero group Freezing Sentai Gelato 5. Okay, I'm in.
Oh my god. It's a Power Rangers parody. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. And their leader, Professor Big Gelato.
I need to change my name legally to that. My life will be so much better with that as my name.
Sorry, they're formed consisting of so-and-so and their leader, Professor Big Gelato. I'm not going to read all their names. They're colored like the Power Rangers, as you can imagine. However, things change when Gecko recruits a new member, the Reaper Princess, Desumi Magahara. Not only is Desumi a formidable fighter, but she and Fudo also happen to fall in love with each other despite being mortal enemies. Even though neither of them have any experience in romance, they begin dating in secret, trying to hide their relationship from their respective organizations. So just to clarify, Fudo is the red gelato. So this is like the Red Ranger falling in love with Rita Repulsa, for those of you who saw Power Rangers.
God, I'm sold. I am sold.
That's got to be good, right?
It does. That sounds hilarious too.
Yeah. How is that not in the comedy?
I know.
That's so funny. Love After World Domination.
Also, that's definitely going to be one I just watch on a random afternoon.
Totally.
Also, I get points because I was right on guessing it being a color-coded superhero show.
Yep. Yep, you do.
Next up is Shikimori's not just a cutie. We need a premise for that one.
Yes. Izumi and Shikimori are typical lovey-dovey high school couple. That is, until Izumi clumsily falls into trouble. Then Shikimori turns into a very cool heroine that makes everyone's heart throb. Okay, maybe we did need more. I don't know what that means, but I'm intrigued.
What?
So
Wait, that was it?
Yeah, until Izumi clumsily falls into trouble. Then Shikimori turns into a very cool heroine that makes everyone's heart throb.
That screams fan service to me for some reason.
It's a good guess.
Like maybe revealing outfit?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not seeing any pictures here on the Wikipedia.
Here, let's try Crunchyroll's synopsis. The ultimate heartthrob girlfriend, in quotes, appears. Naturally, unlucky high school student Izumi's girlfriend is his classmate Shikimori. She has a beautiful smile and kind personality and always seems happy when she's with Izumi. She's a pretty, cute, and loving girlfriend. Yeah, thanks to whoever wrote that one. But when Izumi's in trouble, she transforms into a super cool heartthrob girlfriend. The fun lives of the cute and cool Shikimori, Izumi, and their good friends never ends. That doesn't help me at all.
So this is a classic case of probably could be pretty good, given that it's one of these nominees, but the premise is not doing it justice, or at least the way those.
I don't think that's getting any of my votes.
Yeah. Sorry, Shikimori.
You should have had people write your premise better. Then we got My Dress Up Darling again. Oh, voice crack. Komi-san again. Komi Can't Communicate.
Yep.
Kaguya-sama and Call of the Night.
Yeah, surprised is he... Actually, no, wait. I'm not surprised he called a night on there because it's a dude who's falling in love with a vampire. So, makes good sense.
God, the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, we got like a reverse Twilight situation going on here. Where's your head at with these?
Okay, you know what? I haven't seen any of these, but I will gladly put the favorite chips on Komi and the objective on Kaguya.
Nice. I think that's a really safe bet. Actually, I wanted to clarify that. You said last time you haven't seen Komi.
I haven't. I have only ever seen caps from the manga.
Right. And I remember you saying that now. I think you would enjoy it. It's very cute and it's actually quite it's funny and endearing, which is what you want in a show like this, right? So.
Oh yeah, I was really excited to hear that it got an adaptation. I just, for some reason, have been very lazy about getting around to it.
The list is ever longer.
It really is.
So.
The list never ends.
No, it is unending, which is a very good problem to have. It means that we're drowning in amazing art, basically.
We absolutely are.
So I have, half of these have not seen. Seen lots of Komi. It is awesome. It definitely has a large romantic element. Although I think that the other aspects of the show take center stage from what I can tell, like the actual mechanics of her, you know, not being able to communicate, and all the comedy and all the friendship. It's a lot more like there's romantic plot going on there, but it's a lot more about friendship as well, because she's trying to make friends. My Dress Up Darling, I've only seen a bunch of it, but not all of it. It was awesome for romance. Like these two characters coming together. I missed the pilot, like I said last time, but I can tell that I would love to know how they meet each other in the beginning, actually, because I don't know how they kind of get going. But he basically becomes this person that's going to help her do all of her cosplaying, and they're like totally into each other. It's very good romance. Like they're into each other, and you're just kind of along for that ride of them kind of figuring it out. Which makes for a good romance. And then Kaguya-sama, actually same kind of thing, but totally different take. Two characters who are like, do you know the premise of Kaguya-sama?
I have absolutely no idea what it was.
I should have led with that last time. I should have read it to you or told you. I'll just tell you for brevity here. It is about essentially two people on a student's council in high school are in love with each other and are essentially terrorizing each other's lives in order to try to make the other one say that they're in love first.
Oh no, I love crap like that.
Oh, and it's so well done. So like they're totally head over heels for each other, and they're just trying to basically not be the one to reveal that to the other person. They're just like sabotaging each other in every way, trying to get the other person to it's a game of chicken, right? It's a game of love chicken. And it's hilarious. So I will say that Dress Up Darling, I think, is a very good, with my limited knowledge of all 6 of these, Dress Up Darling, really good romance. I think that it could totally take the top spot. I'm going to give... You know what? I'll break it up. I was going to give both to Kaguya-sama. I'm going to break it up. I'm going to say My Dress Up Darling, objective, Kaguya-sama, favorite. Right. Boom, done.
God, you know what? I'm gonna watch that tomorrow night.
Please do. Just watch. It's a, you can eat a bag of chips, like just chill and watch it. It's just a laugh, and it's light.
It's been sitting in my watch list for so long now. I just need to pull the trigger on it. I really do. Now we're on to Best Voice Performance, Japanese. And I will do everybody justice. I will check to see the voice actor and their character.
That'll help a lot.
Yeah, well, and I just have to double check. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start with Chika Anzai, who voices Chisato Nishikigi from Licorice Recoil.
Sadly, no experience there.
Same. Fairuz Ai, who voices Jolene Cujo from JoJo's.
Sadly, no experience there.
Same as well. Atsumi Tanizaki, who voices Anya Forger.
She's great. I've actually heard her in a couple things, and she's awesome as Anya.
The funny thing is with all these is, like, I very rarely know the name, but we all know the voice.
That's just it. I did not, full transparency, did not know. I don't know any of these names, in fact, admittedly. But we were watching something else, and we fully heard her voice in something else. I forget what it was, but it was playing another small girl character, and we're like, whoa, that's Anya's voice. And she's very good, and like, I mean, we've talked at length about Anya's emoting, you know, and I think that goes hand in hand with the voice acting, right?
Mm-hmm. It absolutely does. Then we got Yuki Kaji, who voices Eren Yeager, and by the way, he is in a lot of things. You can hear his voice in so much.
I bet. Like, I'm just picturing his voice as Eren, and I'm like, oh, wait, I've probably heard him in a dozen things.
I think he voices Meliodas.
Oh, really?
I think so. This is me going off the top of my head because I haven't looked up voice actors in a hot minute.
What was the last name? It's Yuki
Kaji. Kaji.
Meliodas, you were correct on that. I'm just trying to see if there's
Let's go.
anything else. He's Johnny Joestar.
I think he voices somebody in My Hero.
He's this is a random one. Sabito, which is one of the Fox Mask kids that we were talking about back in. Yeah. Ooh, he is Daida, which is a character that I just met today in he so far he appears to be almost Boji's rival in Ranking of Kings.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, so I'll be listening for that tomorrow when I watch more. And then you were right about my hero. He is none other than Shoto Todoroki.
Ah, my son.
Oh, man, that's perfect for Eren Yeager's voice.
Dude, I'm telling you, this guy is all over the place.
That's cool. I'll stop it there, but like those are some heavy hitters.
He's solid. I love him in everything he shows up in. And then we got Natsuke Hanai for Tanjiro Kamado.
Yes. He has a fantastic voice.
He really does.
Can you spell the last name for that again while I awkwardly Google search?
Natsuki Hanai, Hanae.
Because I have no doubt he has such a clean voice, like such a good protagonist voice, and I'm just curious to see what else he's done.
Oh, he voices Falco in Attack on Titan.
Oh, really?
That's another good boy.
Oh, he's a character in Blue Lock. He's a character in Thousand Year Blood War, but nobody like mind blowing.
He does the Japanese dub for Cuphead.
I'm looking at that right now. As soon as you started to laugh, I'm like, he's gonna say it. He's looking at the same thing I am.
He's looking at Cuphead.
That's so funny. Else
I know this character he voices in Psyche K. That's another fun comedy series.
I have never pulled the trigger on it, but I've heard that it's actually pretty good.
I really like it. I kind of made the mistake of burning myself out on it because I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to watch today, so I'm just going to put this on again.
He's Vanitas, actually. Not that we know what that means, but, you know, after getting interested in the case study of Vanitas a little bit a few minutes ago, he happens to be none other than Vanitas himself.
That's a bump.
Yeah, that is a bit of a bump, isn't it? And I'm seeing Falco, and I'm not seeing anything else stand out. But actually, he's a cool character in Food Wars. Funny enough, Takumi Aldini. That's a good character. He's a funny character.
Voices Ken from Tokyo Ghoul, which we talked about last time.
Oh yeah, nice. Well, that makes sense. I'm not surprised that he's done some awesome stuff. I love Tanjiro's Japanese voice.
I do too. Tanjiro's Japanese voice is incredible to listen to. It's probably the most emotive out of a lot of these.
Yep, I'm with you on that.
And then the last one is a spoiler for Made in Abyss.
A spoiler? Well, it'll probably go over my head.
Okay, it's Misaki Kuno who voices two characters.
Okay. She
voices Faputa and Iromui, who, when you get to know them...
I mean, you don't have to spoil it.
Okay.
You can if you want me to know it. The audience has to fend for themselves. Sorry, guys. The spoilers in this show are hard to control, but I'm going to leave it up to you if you want to spoil it for me and them. Interesting to hear that a voice actor is two characters. That alone is a tasty bit of intrigue.
Spoiler alert, it gets my favorite vote.
Okay, I mean that alone also bump, but I don't mean to cut you off. If you think you should say more, I am all ears.
I want to, but I'm not going to. I want to, but I'm not going to.
Restraint. Okay. I appreciate that. I respect it, and I will watch the show.
Yeah, that's the second arc, and that's all I'm going to say. They're two very big, important roles in the second arc.
That's cool. I wouldn't protect myself so fervently if it weren't for the fact that you love the show so much, and so I want to really give it a real go. You know, I want to watch it for real. So spoiler free is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid spoilers as best as I can for it.
And I'm gonna watch as fast as I can so that we can talk about it and spoil whatever we want.
Woo!
Woo!
Quick side note, I had a thought earlier about doing episodes around watches, like when Attack on Titan comes back or Demon Slayer. We could devote an episode to those.
That's an awesome idea. That's actually that would be really fun to just, it could be a segment or it could be whole episodes on watching things as they come out. I'm super into it.
Yeah, we'll talk more on it later.
Oh yeah.
I'm legitimately just trying to kill time because I don't know who to give the objective to.
It's impossible for us to know, I must say, because there's performances in here that we haven't heard. Well, only a couple for me. Well, three, I guess half of them for me, because I haven't heard the Made in Abyss one either. Of the three that I know, actually, it's really hard between those three. So I'm looking at Anya, Eren, and Tanjiro, and I think you're bang on saying that Tanjiro emotes hard. Like, very wide range of, you know, his calm, kind voice to, like, his absolute intensity. Full blown screaming, you know, at the end of the last season. So that range is impressive. Anya's just a good all around great performance, which just
she is.
And then Aaron, like I could see Aaron Yeager's voice actor getting a lot of kudos all the way along. Like probably has this entire time. Like obviously a great, like they've emoted as well in past
Yeah.
seasons, even though Aaron's dead inside now. He's absolutely emoted a lot. And even the form that he's taken these days is a cold, badass performance, I must say.
Yeah.
Right.
Really cold and monotone.
Yeah, which is a whole performance in and of itself, right? So
Yuki Kaji is getting my objective. He has to.
I think favorite is gonna be Natsuki Hane. Tanjiro's voice, love it so much. And then in as far as objective, which is really the harder one to kind of guess on in this case, I think you could be right about Yuki, but I'm gonna go with Anya. Like her performance is pretty outstanding, so I'll go with Atsumi Tanizaki.
By the way, I want it on record. We've been knocking it out of the park with pronouncing the Japanese names.
I don't think we've done too bad, hey?
There's probably only been maybe one we messed up, and if that's all there is, I am so okay with it.
Exactly. Like it could be a bloodbath out here, and I think we're doing okay, at least.
That kind of proves that we just watch anime a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We try. I think we're deserving of this little pat on the back that we're giving ourselves. Love it.
Absolutely. But don't let that make you think we're saying, hey, learn Japanese by watching anime.
No.
I actually have started to try and learn it.
Me too.
Ooh. We might be watching the same videos.
We could be. There could be an episode in there somewhere, maybe.
Oh, I'm so down for that.
It's very fun, and it's very like it flexes my brain quite hard to try and
God, tell me about it. I started taking notes.
That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait to talk more about this later.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Now we got to go to best voice performance English, and I'm going to be real here. This one's just going to go over my head.
Wow, who is the Dragon Ball Super one? Oh, I could see that. So the the only thing here that I've seen in English is I did watch the Dragon Ball Super Superhero in English, and I forgive me for not remembering the difference between Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 in the movie. One of them is a little bit. Oh, wait, no, I think I could guess which one this is. This is probably the more fun one, but it's a shot in the dark. In any case, either or, they were good performances in English, both of them, both those guys. But yeah, I think we're both kind of dead in the water on this one.
We really are, because spoiler alert for our subs and dubs episode. Yeah, Tyler and I only watched one anime dubbed, and that's Dragon Ball. Well, you watch a few dubbed, but the big one is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yes. That is true. I'm looking at, sorry, I'm totally distracting myself while looking at this list. I did watch Cyberpunk in English, the parts of it that I saw. So that's of note. That was pretty badass in English. And then here's a cool one, Ranking of Kings. This is the voice of Kage, who is, I now have learned, is like a little living shadow being. Voiced by Sungwon Cho, which is Pro ZD on YouTube.
It's that YouTuber?
Yes. And
I love that guy. He's so good.
So funny. And he has amazing voices. I obviously have not heard the English Kage after watching one episode in Japanese earlier today. But I will probably pop open the English dub just to hear him talk and do a performance because he's so good.
His videos are so funny. I'm cheating. That's getting the favorite.
Me too. I was going to do the same thing. I'm with you.
Sungwon Cho, Pro ZD. Shout out to that guy.
And then I'm just going to shot in the dark. I'm going with Amanda Lee. This Amma Lee shortened version of Amanda Lee's name, that's looking familiar to me. Like maybe I have heard her in something, or yeah, maybe, I don't know. Oh, wow. Yes. Holy. Lots of video games, people. Everyone take a minute to Google Amalee, Amalee. Lots of cool voices from her.
She was in the One Piece film Red.
Awesome.
I'm trying to find one that really stands out to me.
I've not heard it, but she's getting my objective vote just because Shot in the Dark. She voices Marin, the main character of My Dress Up Darling. So I think that's a fair enough shot in the dark.
Yeah, I think so. That's a respectable one.
Do you find anything else big that she's done?
No. Well, I mean, they're all huge credits. Let's be real here.
Lots. I saw lots of big video games in there, like Bayonetta 2 and Devil May Cry 5 and stuff.
Oh, holy crap. That is a big one. Just based on Film Red, I think she voices she voices one of the big characters. Okay, that gets my objective.
All right. So we got matching on this one. Objective for Emily and Pro ZD gets our favorite.
Pro ZD.
Without even hearing it, I know that it's going to be good.
Okay, man. We're finally on the two big ones.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're nearing the finish line. We are at the top two. We're going to start off with Best Original Anime, and we are dead in the water on this one, too.
No
sir.
way.
I don't know any one of these.
No way. Oh, no. We thought this would be good finale material.
Well, Anime of the Year. Oh, spoiler.
Part of the finale, I should say. Like, we chose to push this one back thinking that original anime would be good. And I'm sure this is great stuff for other people, but I don't know any of this other than, well, you go ahead and you read our nominees, and then we'll do our best.
The nominees for Best Original Anime are as follows. Birdie Wing, Golf Girl's Story. You know what? Just the fact that it's golf kind of has me interested.
You like golf?
I do. I played a lot of it when I was a kid.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that one's got me. That's got my eye.
I hope it's like a golf sports anime of some kind.
It better be. It had better darn well be. Then we've got Healer Girl. I don't know what this is. This looks colorful.
It is called Healer Girl.
So colorful. All right, so the premise for Healer Girl is as follows. The world can be healed through music, and these three girls want to make it happen. Meet Kana Fuji, Reimi Itsuhiro, and Hibiki Morishima, three healers in training at the Karasuma Phoniatric Clinic, learning the art of healing patients' illnesses and injuries by singing. Okay.
All right.
It's a musical.
That is funky.
It's got really cute art style, although it's like that weird 2D CG kind of looking thing, but it's probably purely 2D. So that one, that's got my eye too.
Healing through the power of song.
Man, if it were me, they'd just play Cattle Decapitation's Death Atlas 24/7.
It would heal you?
It'll either heal me or make me cry. I know that sounds weird because the band is called Cattle Decapitation, but yeah, that album has gotten me near tears a few times.
Wow, I am gonna have to check that out just based on the name alone.
Just to make it interesting, it's a concept album about how humanity is killing ourselves through climate change and global warming and stuff, and overpopulation.
Oh man,
it's really good though. It's a heavy album, like actually heavy because it's heavy metal.
Right.
But yeah, man. That's Healer Girl. Not. I don't think it has death metal, but they're just healing through music. And then there's Licorice Recoil. Licorice, we're never gonna get that right. I'm sorry, we're dumb.
All good. Well, I am. All good. We've gone over that one a couple times.
We have. There's the Orbital Children.
So I'm just trying to pull that one up. I will not be reading this enormous synopsis, but it's set in 2045. Comet strikes newly opened Japanese commercial space station in geocentric orbit. It's called Anshin. At the same time, a trio of Earth children brought to the commercial space station that is not grammar. Not my fault. Not my fault. They did not write a complete sentence here. Something about a tree of children in the space station. Purpose of their visit is to meet a particular boy, one of the last surviving children born in space. So-and-so is born human. Lots of things. Isolated from most of the station's adult staff, children navigate the early stages of the disaster using local narrowband connections. Lots of specifics. Their internet connection is severed. The oxygen supply has been cut off, and they soon discover that the station has been damaged by an impact and is leaking air. Sometimes at odds with each other, they confront difficulties such as decompression, EVA with inadequate plastic suits, and runaway micro machines supposedly designed to retrieve water from comets. Wow, okay, I'm going to stop there, but that went from, like, confusing because I was slicing it up to actually quite interesting. Just a bunch of kids surviving on a space station crisis.
Wait, so it's just sci-fi Lord of the Flies.
Totally. That's exactly what it is. It's got me like intrigued.
When you sum it up like that, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the space station setting and like the fact that there's like runaway micro machines that are designed for a good purpose, but are like, I'm sure there's an episode where they're causing them wreaking havoc kind of thing.
This looks like it's going to get heavy.
Well, Lord of the Flies in space.
Yeah,
Enough said.
So that's the Orbital Children. Then we got Vampire in the Garden, which has popped up on my Crunchyroll front page a few times, but I can't remember if it was really eye-catching to me or not.
Okay, I've got a vampire one, I think. Short enough.
Okay.
Okay, so Vampire in the Garden tells the story of Momo, a human woman raised as a soldier in one of the last fortified human cities. She meets Fine, or Fine, perhaps, the begrudging queen of the vampires, and the two run away together in search of a better way of life apart from the conflict, if not an outright paradise.
I think I like that.
Yeah, lots of vampires, hey?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with vampires right now, but they're so hot.
They're so hot.
Oh, that's why I haven't been finding half of these, is because they're Netflix only.
Oh, this is Netflix one.
It better be, because Google said it's on Netflix.
This is probably why it was popping up in your recommended was on Netflix.
That's what it was. Yep, you were right. A vampire queen and a human girl join forces against all odds in search of paradise.
Amazing. Well, that's interesting.
And last but not least is Yurei Deco.
So
this looks colorful too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the splash art and definitely an interesting style. Synopsis. The story takes place on Tom Sawyer Island, where everyone's lives...
Oh, this is going to get racist.
That's not ideal. Where everyone's lives revolve around the use of an augmented reality system known as Deco and currently known as love. And a currency known as love. So sorry, it's a augmented reality system known as Deco and a currency known as love. Barry, an average girl with a damaged Deco that shows her things others can't see, meets Hack, a girl who looks like a boy. Charmed by Hack, Barry meets up with the team Hack leads, the Yurei Detective Club. Members of this club are socially dead, working invisibly within the digitally controlled society of Tom Sawyer Island. And as she works with the group, Barry learns about Phantom Zero, a mysterious figure who lurks within Tom Sawyer's underground. She and Hack decide to chase down this figure, and in time, the truth behind the city is revealed. Okay.
I'm going to be upfront right now. I looked it up on the Google, and the art and animation style is the kind that I love.
You do love?
I love this art and animation style a lot.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Totally befitting like a digital world, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
And super colorful.
The studio did Devilman Crybaby. That's another point for them.
Oh, wow. Nice. All right, well, that's definitely interesting.
I'm going to cheat, and I think Yurei Deco might get my favorite vote.
We didn't read Birdie Wing, but I assume that it's Golf Story.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Maybe that's unfair to Birdie Wing, but...
Well, you know what? Let's give it its fair due. Birdie Wing, Golf Girl's Story. In the European state of Nafrish, or I'm just going to leave it in Nafrish, a girl named Eve uses her crude yet effective golfing style to act as a ringer and take money from various challengers and unsanctioned. I think this is just anime Happy Gilmore.
Amazing. I'll take it.
However, one day after beating another challenger, Eve meets with a Japanese golfing prodigy, Aoi Amawashi, who manages to defeat her in a one-hole match. After suffering that defeat, Eve becomes obsessed with her newfound purpose of challenging Aoi to a full 18-hole match and beating her. You have my intrigue.
Yeah, I'm game for a rival. I'm game for rivalry any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, now that we've read synopses for 6 shows and we have to shoot in the dark, what are your shots?
Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Do we do favorites and objectives on this?
No, I think this is a oneer. Like we can't have a favorite if we haven't seen any of them.
That's true.
So I think we just guess and see who comes out on top.
My vote is going for Yurei Deco.
It's definitely got a crazy vibe. I'm going to go, this is my meta bet here, I'm going to go with Licorice Recoil because it's come up in like half of these categories.
It really has.
Right? So maybe it's blowing some people away in some ways, right? So I haven't picked it for anything else, but I'm going to pick it now.
Man, I think that one got bumped up for me now too.
Well, it's come up so many times, right?
It really has. I think it and Ranking of Kings have just kind of dominated this.
Yeah. All right. So that's best original anime. We got those locked in.
Yep. Now it's time for Anime of the Year.
What's in here? I'm so curious to see what 6 we've got.
Oh, Jesus. We've seen these 6.
Oh, every time.
Yep.
Read them off. What are they?
Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Ranking of Kings, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Licorice Recoil, and Spy X Family.
What a great set of 6 that we've definitely seen this exact 6 in a few different categories. Like it was just these 6. And it's funny, our little chat about Licorice Recoil just now, here it is, literally in Anime of the Year category. So clearly there's some hype behind that, and we might have to check it out.
Yeah, I think that bumped it up even higher.
Anime of the Year. This is our final category of this prediction. This is tough. And I think we could do favorites and objectives for this. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and I already have my 2 picked out.
Actually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
And they're different? You didn't double up on the same?
I've definitely doubled up on these 2 a lot.
Sorry, I mean like your objective and your favorite are...
Oh, yeah, no.
Lay it on me. What are your choices? Or do you want me to lock in mine before I hear them? I'm going to lock in mine before I hear them. Hang on. I'm going to lock...
Unless me locking in mine would help you.
No, it would probably help, but I think it's more fun if I lock in. At least maybe not perma-lock. We can have a discussion after I pick my 2, and we can like try to figure it out. That being said, there's a part of me that's going for Demon Slayer for both, which is probably not right. Okay, so Demon Slayer is absolutely going to be my favorite. That one is
Same
easy
here.
peasy. Picking the objective is a little bit harder. Spy Family really took the world by storm, I think. It's safe to say. It really did. Right? Ranking of Kings, we've talked about it a bunch. I think that it clearly has a lot going on for it. I think for Anime of the Year, I think it maybe is sometimes easier and sometimes harder when you're looking at a later season. Like, for example, I think a Demon Slayer and an Attack on Titan that are so well established, maybe a later part could help them, like, because you're talking about something that's established that's already got a hype train behind it. With something like Ranking of Kings, when it made a splash on the scene with its first set of episodes, it probably took a bunch of these, right? But with it being core 2 and us having not seen it, it's hard for me to make an educated guess on how its hype train is going, for lack of better phrasing. So I don't know if it's the one. Licorice Recoil, we've talked about a little bit. Cyberpunk, I think, made a huge splash, but definitely a huge splash, but probably not enough to take Anime of the Year on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too.
And Attack on Titan, pretty unreal, but I don't think that's it either. I think that it could be Spy X Family for the objective for me.
All right.
What are yours?
Oh, I'm the same as you. Demon Slayer is the favorite, and Spy is the objective.
Yeah. Oh, you feel the same?
Absolutely, I do. Plus, and this is being very cocky on my part, that it kind of feels like a no-brainer with those 2 being on here.
Yeah, I broke it down a little bit for the sake of, like getting some discussion on it. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, upon evaluating all of these, favorite, easy for both of us probably to say Demon Slayer, and then Spy X Family, like, of course.
Oh yeah, like you said, it took the world by storm. Like it gained its popularity so quick.
Oh yeah. And you know what? We haven't talked about this, and I haven't seen it all that's even out yet. I'm not fully caught up, but this could totally be another suggest to people who don't watch anime. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Like it's one of those ones that this could have been the show that got them in anime because their friend was talking about how wholesome and funny and cool it is, right? And I think that somebody who's not used to anime could even enjoy it, and that could also be part of why it's so popular.
Yeah, no, it definitely has this what am I looking for, approachable sense to it that anybody that wants to get into anime, like, that's such a great starting point.
Totally approachable. What a perfect word
and then once you finish Spy X Family, you can get started on Demon Slayer.
Oh, totally. Yeah, just dip your toes in anime with Spy X Family and then just rocket ship to the moon. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Well, that was really fun, and I am so excited to see how these actually shake out.
I am too. That there are so many that we need to absolutely check back on in the future.
Yeah, like we've got a swath of shows for each of us to go watch eventually when we can dig down through the list and get to them, despite some of them being bumped way up there. But I'm so excited for our unpacking of the results of the Anime Awards 2023, because like I'm sure we'll be shocked and surprised by certain results, right? Others might be no-brainers, but we might just be like, whoa, I did not expect this given all of our thinking around it. So
it's gonna be great, absolutely. And we do have 2 weeks to watch a few things.
True. Mine's going to be full of Made in Abyss and Ranking of Kings, apparently.
That's what I like to hear. And Licorice Recoil, apparently.
Yeah, like almost just need to throw like a couple episodes against the wall for some of these shows. You know what I mean? And just see what they're about. See if they transcend their poorly written synopses.
The 2 or 3 episode rule is a good way to go about it.
Exactly. Amazing.
Man, we put in some work, and then we put in some more work.
Yep. Lots of categories. 22 categories. Six nominees apiece.
Nominees.
Yeah, and even with all the overlap, there was just a huge diversity, like just a huge number of shows, right?
Honestly, the big 3 that we saw were Ranking of Kings, Demon Slayer, and Licorice Recoil.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, Attack on Titan's always going to be in these lists, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on these lists for 10 years.
Yeah. 10
That's
more
how long it's
years.
going to keep running.
Amazing. Well, any closing remarks about the Anime Awards before we sign off this part 2 and then pick it back up when we've got the results of the 2023 Anime Awards?
Yeah, let's so for fairness sake, we do know that award ceremonies and award shows and things like this are kind of a very subjective thing for any work of art, like video games or film or anything like that. So many people out there, they all deserve an award because they're doing some very incredible work with what they have. Like, they're bringing so many things to life that we will very luckily get to see at some point.
Exactly.
But this is just this is just a bit of fun, a bit of goofing around and seeing what our favorites, seeing where our favorites are with the rest of the world, and also getting to experience some new hyped up incredibleness.
This is totally, and this has been so fun to do exactly that. I've loved every second of it. I'm so happy you came up with this grand plan to run through all of this. It's been a blast.
It has. This was such a great last minute idea.
Yeah, and it's still timely. Like these episodes are coming out. You're listening to them right now, and right around the corner is going to be the results, and we're going to have a ton of fun then too.
Yeah, that's going to be even more fun, I think.
Yeah, it's like unwrapping presents. Just the unknown.
Oh my God, it really is. That's going to be Christmas morning.
Yeah, it is. In March, apparently. Christmas in March.
Chris March,
the Anime Awards. All right, guys.
Oh, Anna March. Now I get it.
Oh, that's great. Anna March.
Anna March, let's go.
Let's go. Almost there. Okay, well, this has been super fun. This has been TxT Anime Hour. And until next time, thanks for listening.